All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So, this is my second episode of Big Plays. I figured for the second episode, I would do a game that I have a lot of hours into. And this is Pantheon. So, for this episode, we're going to do things that I wish that I would have known at the beginning of Pantheon, or things that will help people, So, I figured we'd make a guy and get him up some levels, and I'd show y'all some basics of the game and, kind of take you around the map so you can know what to expect when you start playing the game. So this is one of my current favorite games. Maybe one of my favorite all-time games ever. I don't know. I love it a whole bunch. If you researched about it, it's got a really cool story. It was in development for a long time. The developers seemed to really give a shit. So when you start out in the screen, you have your character selection screen. You can do human, elf, halfling, ogre, dwarf. That guy's cute. Or dark mirror. So, all of the classes at the beginning start in different areas of the map. I like to start with the humans because they start kind of like in the main town, and so that's what we'll do today. And for stream, we'll make Big TV. This is the character that I'll just play on stream for this series. And so we'll make it a human, make him a human. Let's see, which class should I play? So there's a couple things when you look at the classes. The warrior, the dire lord, and the paladin are all tanks. The cleric is the healer, like the main healer class, and then the off healers are shaman and druid. Good druids or good shamans can keep a whole class healed, and so can druids. Summoners and necromancers are so summoner, necromancer, ranger, enchanter, wizard, rogue, cleric, or wizard, rogue, monk. Those are all classes that DPS. And so let's see. I haven't really done a wizard yet. I did for a little while on one of the other servers when the game first started, and so we'll go ahead and try a wizard for the stream, just for fun. So the wizard is a class that puts out a lot of damage. I usually just let it auto allocate the points, and it allocated them into intellect, which is perfect. Appearance. Let's see if we can get him to look like me. I doubt it. Okay. There we go. Boom. So we got Big TV in the building. So let's go ahead and enter the world. This game is so much fun. If you've been thinking about buying it and haven't bought it yet, you should get it. If you have only thought about it for a little while, it is still in alpha. Or not in alpha, but in development phase. And so it's they're still working bugs out of it and working with all the classes and making it. It's an awesome. They're constantly evolving it. Okay, so we got to start out here. So when you very first start the game, when you open your inventory, I and O are the buttons that open your inventory. And then you'll have some scrolls and you'll have a letter. And so we'll look at all the scrolls. These are our first spells that we get. And I like to just learn them real quick. And then I look at them when I go. So whenever you click on the piece of paper or any task paper in your, whenever you left click on it or right click, it'll let you accept the quest. So that quest is to meet the first foreman in town, which we'll go there. I'll show everybody how to get there. And you start out with a little bit of food and a bag and just some things on your guy. So first things first, we'll take a look at our spells. So to open up your spells, you push B. Right click will assign everything to your bar. If it says that you don't need to put them on there because they're memorized spells, so this is basically just a spell that will always work. So it says you're keenly in tune to the elemental energies all around you. For each element, fire, cold, and shock that is fully focused, you will gain additional mana regeneration per tick for each full focus element. If you attempt to consume focus for an element you do not have, it will consume focus randomly at a 2-to-1 ratio. Dang, okay. So basically what that's saying is you have these little focuses right here, and each spell that you use takes away some focus, and if you overuse the focuses, you die, is basically all it's saying. So we got our very first spells, we're opening the world, the game plays great, it feels great. A couple things that I wish I would have known right at the beginning. So for me, I don't really own a super nice computer, right? And so first thing I did was I went to the graphics and I just kind of turned everything off, and I turned the render quality to low. Now what this did is it actually didn't make the game look very different, but it made it run much better. And it just did things like, you know, take away the shadows under the trees, things like that. And so when you very first start, you're in this little caster area, and that was the area where my trainer was. So next I'm going to run to everyone to town, show you what that's all about. First we'll cast a couple spells, see how this character feels. Pretty powerful. So luckily a lot of the stuff in the environment doesn't aggro. Unless you attack it. And so right out of the wizard, they call this the wizard tower. And then right out of the wizard tower you can run down this path right here. And this will take you into the first city. Some of the classes start in the city. Some of the other races start in different parts of the map. You just have to find out for yourself, you know. It doesn't super matter what race you pick, because you can eventually get someone to port you to the main cities that you want to go to, or, you know, it's really not about going to the cities, it's about having fun and kind of exploring your way around. So when I ported through there, it takes me to this different part of the map. I don't remember if there's quests right here. I don't think there is. No. So right outside of this that I just ported in is this little pathway. And off this little pathway is the village of Aviala. Aviala. Sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but it's all good. Oh, let's get some in-game sound going. Alright, so now we're in town. The town is super adorable. It's like a little human city that they built. There's a bunch of different stuff here. In this video, I'll show you where the foreman is. He's the guy that gives you the first quest, so that's right here. If you complete his quests, it gives you it opens up a bunch of different ones, so we'll accept all those. And what this is doing is giving you all like your mining tools, like your skinning knife and your mining pick and stuff like that. And so you accept all of these all the way through. A few will show complete just because through you accepting them, you completed them. So once that's there, I like to open up my backpack and then I will close out of here and just go ahead and equip all the tools that he just gave me. So these will go to, you'll notice none of them went right here. That's because they're in my professions tab. So I'm now equipped to gather, to skin, to pickaxe, to mine, to cut trees, everything. So for most things, I mean, you can gather anything you see to sell. That's what I like to do. But once I get a profession for my guy, that's when I will, go ahead and start to gather specifically one thing or the other. So Foreman Aldeus is right here. He's an awesome, you'll come back to him a bunch at the first part of the game. Next thing I'll show you is professions. So when you're at the first part of the game, I wouldn't suggest picking professions till you get to like level 10, right? And so at level 10, you can go ahead and, I mean, you can pick them if you want to right away, but that's another video for another time. What I like to do until I know what I'm gonna do is I will put them in the bank. That way you don't waste them, because you can't really drop the profession once you've decided what you want. So now that we have those in the bank, that's super, super sick. So we've talked to Foreman Aldeus, we've gotten some quests. If you hit J, it'll show you all your different quests. And then we put our tokens in the bank. So here's like a kind of a little brief rundown. So you can scavenge any weapons you find or you hear that you don't want to use at this bench. This is like the little smelter and forge area. Back here is like the crafting area for like leather working and tailoring, all that stuff. There's a little cute little table in there. And then here's like the weaponsmith right here. And there's a general vendor and a supplier. So the supplier has the profession stuff and the general vendor has like food and all that. You can also get your first set of bags from her. They're a little expensive, but at first. So I put those profession coins in the bank, but since I've already played the game a bunch and I know, about the professions and stuff, for this guy, we'll go ahead and pick 2 professions that provide you with useful things for your character. And so what we'll do is we'll get leatherworking, and which will let you make bags, and then we'll get lumber, like carpentry, excuse me. So we'll get some carpentry going on, and then so right out the bank, which the bank is right here, you're gonna go around this way. And again, I mean, you can research what professions you want to do and all that. I'm just making kind of like a comprehensive little video for the first couple levels and like how to set yourself up. So the reason I want to do carpentry is because it'll allow me to make boxes for my bank, so I'll have more storage space. I can also make money selling the boxes to people. And when we go out in the world and we see trees to cut down, all of those can be used for your carpentry. So we'll go to him. I have the profession coin on me, so he gives me my first quest. Complete. accept. So he's just basically saying, bring me back some wood and make some planks out of it. Easy enough. Every time after you visit them, look for recipes. So he gave me a recipe for the lumber. When you right click on that, it goes into your professions bag in the actual bag, like the schematics bag itself. So that's a huge, huge bag. And then, so that's lumber or carpentry. And then we'll also do leather working so we can make some bags. This is probably not ideal professions for a mage, you know, but it's okay because we're doing this guy for the video. So leather working, accept. After you do a couple quests with her, so this will go to the professions tab. After you do a couple quests with the leather making trainer, you can then make some bags for your guy. So now we know we need to skin animals and cut down trees while we're out in the world. The interface UI is like really easy to scale down and move around and all that stuff. You can pretty much, as long as you're not in combat, you can drag pretty much anything on the screen around. So I can put like my party where I want them to be, or my guy's name where I want it to be. Alright, and then from town, so we got leatherworking, carpentry going. Did we get leatherworking? Yeah, we did. Alright, so we got our professions from Foreman Aldeus. We got a little preview of the town. So right there is like the inn. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run right up here. It's kind of like where the leatherworking trainer was. There's some houses right off the side here. So this house has the provisioner trainer, but he gives you one of your first quests that you can do. So right here, hornet infestation. And when you kill hornets, you get wax for your bags. So it's kind of a double bonus. Then I go out the side of the hornet house. I head down here to the ranger area and I talk to the huntress. She will give me the night warden. So I gotta kill a young ghost viper, prove to her that it's been done. No problem. So those are a couple of the first quests that you can get. If anybody knows of any other quests, drop them down in the comments, and I would love to explore those other opening quests in the beginning too. So anytime that I've made a character so far, that is kind of how I set them up in the beginning. Get all their spells, I pick the professions and kind of get their professions started, and then I go out and try to quest a little bit. So we'll do that for the video here. Let's take a quick 30-second dab break. Thank you to anyone viewing this video, to anybody that's watched any of my other stuff. I really appreciate everybody. And I'd eventually like to just make videos all day. And so I've been trying to make them a lot more and trying to come out with a lot of quality content. And so thank you for checking out Big TV for sure. And thank you for supporting what I do. All right. So, Foreman Aldeus is right back there. So you go from him right out the front gate. That's my stamina bar on the right. Excuse me. Shift will have you running. So when you run out south on the road from an Aldeas back there, you get to this point right before, so you can go to the gate, or you can go right out here to this kind of open world. So what I like to do is go right into this open world and kill the hornets for my quest. And so you just kill the hornets for your quest. Super simple. You can kill everything around here if you want. If you haven't ever played the game, this is a really great place to like just go through and learn what your guys' spells do, you know, what kind of damage you can put out. For the next part, I'm going to move the camera here so we can see the little chat for this little part. So when you're going to kill a guy out in the world, an NPC, and you tab target to them, you always want to make sure that you check their strength. And so the way that you check their strength is you just hit the C button. And that'll let you know like how strong they are compared to how strong you are. So like when I go to the rat, hit C, it says that it would be an evenly matched fight. So we'll go ahead and fight him. Now some games like, you know, like WoW or something like that, when you're going out, you could probably pull all the guys around you and survive. But in this type of a game, in Pantheon, you don't want to do that. And so you want to make sure that you're always checking your enemy, you know? Excuse me. So we'll go to this next guy. So see how it says he would pose a great challenge to me and that he can currently see me, right? So let's see if we can take him on. It's usually not advised to try to take on yellow guys, especially early in the game. So we'll see what happens. Nice. We got him. I'm pretty comfortable with the mage at this point because I know that he does a lot of damage. You have to be careful though, because like as you'll notice, each time I procced the cold spell, he lost one of his runes. So if you lose too many runes, you lose life, and it's not great. But it's also, you know, no biggie. If you lose a little bit of life while you're in a group, you can catch some heals. Or if you want to be respectful of everybody around you, then just don't lose life. Once you use the runes, just spam the A1 spells. So yeah, over here in this area, this is all hornets. Here's another hornet. He's got some beeswax, so you'll want to keep the beeswax for your bags. Let's see, that guy would be an evenly matched fight, so let's bring it to him. Nice, he's got some gear on him. So let's go ahead and I'm sure these pants are better than whatever we have on. So 4 armor, nice. And then 2 damage dagger is what we have already. So yeah, all up in this area is the hornets. I won't kill them for too long, but I will show you the little farming area for them. How many do we need for the quest? Kill 10 of them. We can do that. We can do that. 10 big ones, no problem. And we got some hornets right over here. They do pull together. Oh, they're gonna kill me. So whenever you die at first, when you're under level 5, you get to keep all the stuff inside of your inventory. If you're over level 5, you don't get to. And so Since we're under level 5, whenever we release, it'll just take us right back to our little starting area. So that was kind of like a really quick basic on kind of how to start, you know, Pantheon in general. Kind of a couple things to do. Learned about, you know, doing the C to look at the guy. Learned about getting our spells. We learned about forming Aldeus. And so there's a couple more things I want to show you during the video. First thing is selling stuff. So if you're a spellcaster in this area and you want to sell stuff, you can just go right to, you can either sell stuff at your spell vendor or you can sell stuff at the general vendor. The first thing I like to try to do is get enough money to buy bags for my guy. 168. So we don't have quite enough money for a bag yet, but that's okay. So you can sell it at the vendor right there, or you can come on back to your scroll vendor right back here. Scroll vendor right back here. So while we're here, I'll go ahead and grab frail shielding because we don't have that yet. We'll learn it up real quick. Boom. Throw that on the bar. That's like so usually when it's a spell that like affects me like a buff, I just put it on the end of my bar. Perfect. So we'll run back to town, and then I showed you where the Hornet area was. Let's just back a little ways in the video, and then I'll also show you where the very first area that you can farm a lot of good experience at is. So you'll go back down this road, and you'll take the teleport back to close to Avelia, the village of Avelia. Once you go out the teleport, so right up there is the bind stone for Avelia. I don't like to bind here till I'm like level 10 or above, just because I like to stay getting my spells. And for a lot of casters, you have to go back and get your spells for a while at that place. So once we hit Avelia, I just always use Foreman Aldeus as my landmarker. So there he is right there. So if you follow him, or if you go out south of Aldeus, about, you know, southwest, you will come upon the gate at the end of this road. So the gate at the end of the road is just right where the city starts. And so, just as a quick refresher, the Hornets are right all over in this area. There's a bunch of stuff to kill in this area. You could get to level 5 comfortably all in this area right here. Then right here is the gate. So right out the front gate we have it's like a little campfire area. If you're a provisioner or you want to cook something, you can do it right here at the campfire. Then we come on down this side here. Now when you come down this side here, there is some really good experience in this area. These frogs right here are really good to kill. They're yellow, so make sure you use caution. Looks like we found a tree out here. All the trees that have the little blue highlights to them are the trees that we need for our first boxes that we'll make. We'll also be able to make a shield for ourselves. I'm not sure if mage can use a shield, but if it can, we'll use it. wizard, excuse me. And then we'll go ahead and mob right over this way. So all right down this way, right down along the river is a really great killing area. You can kind of loop around if you want to and go back to the city. Up here, that's this place called Skeletons. That's like a level 7 and up area. So just don't get close to that area because they'll definitely aggro on you. Then if you go to this side, there's some pretty good farming and a couple of things to kill down that way. And then coming up the road here to the south, this part of the video is for all the people that want to be, or that are going to be, a carpenter. So I'm just going to show you how to get to the carpenter's apprentice. So again, we're going southeast down this road. It's the only road, so it's not hard, to find. You're just going to follow this road all the way to the carpenter's apprentice. A couple notable landmarks that I'll talk about in other videos. You have going down this way and going right down here is like the way to AVP, it's called. That's a higher level area. As you're out in these areas, there's hornets and all sorts of stuff to kill as you're mobbing around. This entrance right here is called the drop entrance for the goblin caves. And again, we're just following the road. You can run off the road and like check out all the areas and kill all the stuff out here. Super, super fun. Oop, there's a tree that we need. We might as well stop and grab that bad boy. Okay, as you follow the road, you'll hit the crossroads. So from the crossroads, that right there goes to an area that hasn't been developed yet. This right here at the crossroads is another good quest that you can grab. He wants you to get him 20 blackberries and 20 fresh apples. You definitely can do that. If you look around him a lot, there's usually like apple trees right close to him. So you just do apple trees as you're out, Oh, I love the rain in the game. Sounds awesome. Alright, and then again from the crossroads, if you go up that way, this is the road that will take you straight up to AVP. Avendir's Pass is what it's called. And then this right here is the road that we were just following. And so it kind of looks like a little peace sign. So up that way, undeveloped territory. Up this way, AVP. And then down this way is the Carpenter's Apprentice. And so the Carpenter's Apprentice is part of the first quest, I believe. Yeah, I don't quite have the quest yet, but I'm just going to show everybody where the quest is. It's about three tasks in the quest line, which in the next video we'll talk a little more in depth about professions and leveling professions, because that's a thing a lot of people ask me about. This rock entrance to the wall right here is the other Goblin Caves entrance. It's the one for the lower level. video for another time. You won't have to worry about that when you're on your brand new toon. It's so much fun just going out and exploring the game. The game does not have a map, and so you just have to learn the map as you go out and explore. And really, it's kind of just like real life. You use the roads that you notice in your head or you notice while you're going around, and you get to where you're going. So this is the same road, south by southeast, that we've been going on. Again, if we turn around that way and go north, we'll take us right back to town. And then right down here at the end of this road, uh-oh, who's on us? A gray howler? Hopefully we can out DPS him. We got this. Boom. Oh, and we need leather too, so we might as well skin him while we're here. All right. We'll avoid that howler, since this is getting to be a little bit dangerous since we're level 2, but that's okay. So right down the road, this is the apprentice, and it looks like we're going to be killed by a ghost viper, which is fine. So, but yeah, right down at the end of the road, there's the carpenter's apprentice, Oliver, and the bindstone. And so that's how you get to the carpenter's apprentice. And that's more than enough to keep you occupied till like level 10. And so we'll call it right there for the end of the video. And I'll say thank you for watching the video, especially if you made it this far. That's Pantheon. I'll be doing a lot more videos about this game because it is one of my favorite games. And I think the next video I'll be doing is on the new outcoming game, the new game that just came out that I got, Precinct. I'm playing it enough right now so I don't look like an idiot while I'm streaming it. And I'll bring it to y'all, and we'll play through and have fun, and we'll watch it and play it together. And so thanks again for watching my videos, and thank you for supporting everything I do. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night.